Hello, everyone. Welcome to Roots and Gaps. My name is B. I am the host for Roots and Gaps. Today, I want to talk about where I stand on all these topics. I want to come straightforward because there's been a lot of comments that I've seen, good ones and bad ones, and I just want to come and tell everybody where I stand. Okay. I said it so many times through my videos, but I feel like no one's really paying attention. So I just want to make a short video on where I stand. So first and foremost, I am neutral. Okay, I'm neutral on all these topics. I'm open-minded about all these topics, and the reason why I'm stating, okay, or I'm talking about the word 苗族, okay. I'm talking about that word because, like I said, eventually we will have to face it. And things that we say, I said it in one of my videos too. Oftentimes we say things and we say it's all of us, right? But when in reality, some of it that we say is not all of us. It's some of us or a certain group. Okay. So for me, it's important for me to look at everything in a neutral perspective, right? The reason why I talked about the word 苗族 is because, like I said, through my research on it from the Hmong China's perspective and the Chinese perspective. In China's perspective, if we learn the language, all right, there's nothing bad about the word 苗族, okay? The word 苗, okay? It's the best example, because the best example that I can give you is it's just a language word, okay? It's kind of like we say hello, right? Hello, right? In our language, we would say 鸟zhong, okay? It's different, right? When we say Hanzu or the Han Chinese, we say shuo, right? Okay? It's different, right? So, and then some of you might be wondering, okay, but I never hear Hmong shuo say that they are 苗族. Only when they say outside. But like I said, if you watch my videos, okay, because majority of the time everyone's watching the negative side and they're just commenting on it, okay? If we watch the positive side, I actually explain that it's just a language thing, okay? It's just a language thing to where, of course, they're not going to say 古要苗族, okay? That is Mandarin, okay? If they were to say 古要苗族, then that's Mandarin, okay? The reason why you hear them say 古要蒙, all right, or the word where they use the word 蒙, is because that's how we say it in our language, okay? So this is me trying to explain to you guys, this is their perspective, this is how they're seeing it, okay? Yes, I get it that, okay, the Hmong Laos had their experience in Laos, right? They faced discrimination through the name. That I understand, okay? Some of the backup information that we've seen, like one of my previous video, was that it's a elementary school experience, right? And that's why I commented saying, that's how elementary kids are, because in the video he didn't mention that the professor didn't know what to say, right? Didn't know what to say to the kids, right? So This is me being neutral. I'm not saying that he's wrong, okay? I'm not saying the way he felt about it was wrong. I'm not attacking the way he feels, but I am trying to point out, and from a neutral perspective, that that I want us to understand that it's just a language thing, okay? Just Chinese in general, the word in Chinese, right? All right, is in Mandarin is 中国人, right? So there are some of you that keep saying that, oh, if we hear the word 苗, right? Right? But now let's look at this perspective. We call 中国人 people Chinese, no, right? Shouldn't 懂地铁, right? There's also that perspective too, okay? It's just like I said, it's a language thing. They're not gonna say in their language that, oh, 我是 Chinese, okay? Right? They're gonna say 我是中国人, okay? In their language, because that's their language. That's how they say. That's just how they say it in their language, okay? So my point in all my videos is it's a language thing, okay? If we look at it at a bigger picture, then it makes sense why, Hmong in China is not making a big deal out of it, because they understand it's just a language thing, and because it's a language thing and it's Mandarin, they are not being made fun of, okay? Because that is the Mandarin language. It's kind of like we call 说, right? Imagine if they were to migrate out with the name 说, right? And then they're being made fun of, right? So for those who are saying that, okay, the Laotian, they're taunting them, us, the Hmong people, by using that term. It makes sense because they don't speak the language. They don't speak Mandarin, right? So that's coming from that perspective. But in terms of today, I encourage you to really look into it, right? Not just Lao's experience, okay? If we're just looking at Lao's experience, then we're not looking at Hmong as a whole, okay? We're only looking at Hmong Lao's experience, okay? But if we're looking at it as a whole, then it's not a negative connotation in China, due to the fact that they know that it's just a language thing. Yes, when they go out there, they will say 我是苗族, but when they talk to other Hmong people, they will say 古样Hmong, right? They come to America, and what do they say? They say to us Hmong people, they say 古样Hmong, right? So that being said, because I don't want any confusions out there, okay, I am neutral, and no, I'm not taking sides, okay? I did state that even mainland Chinese people didn't know, okay, that Miaozu is us, right? Because when I meet a lot of mainland Chinese people, if I were to say, oh, I am Hmong, they don't understand, right? And it's so complicated to explain to them, and here's the reason why. And the reason why I used the word miao to them was because it was so hard to explain to them that, oh, this is Hmong, right? It's so much easier to say, oh, I am Miaozu, or 我是苗族, okay? So, therefore, I said Miao, okay? They didn't know too. They didn't know that Hmong, when I say I'm Hmong, it means that I am Miaozu, okay? So, I mean, some of them didn't think that we were Miaozu at all, okay? They didn't think we came from China, okay? It wasn't. I knew someone who told me that, oh, I didn't believe you guys were Miaozu until, I met you, because I didn't know. I want to talk about our gaps between Hmong America to Laos to China. I do want to talk about Thailand, Vietnam, and Burma too, but I don't know too much about them. Okay. But eventually, I do want to talk about the gaps that we have between each other, because that's very important, right? Because, like I said in one of my other videos, we could throw the name away, right? But if we throw it away, that throws our entire history away, right? But I also stated that, it's not my job to tell everybody, hey, keep the name, right? Um, that's up to everybody as an individual. But I do encourage everyone to look into it, learn the language. Like, I encourage you, and learn the language. Be neutral. Look into it as a wider perspective. Use the name Miaozu, right? Use the name Miaozu, right? Tell mainland Chinese people that you're Miaozu. See if you get a negative reaction, okay? Or is it a positive reaction? But I will tell you that my experience with the term Miaozu, okay, to mainland Chinese people, it has never been a negative experience. It has always been a positive experience. So, as study says, right, if one thing says one way, but the other thing says another way, something's wrong, right? So we have to look into it. That's why I looked into it, okay? So this is just where I stand, and this is why I'm starting my videos. So I want us to understand it's not about pointing fingers. Yes, I understand that even nowadays some Hmong people have not even heard of the term Miao, okay? All right, so I do understand that part too. And I understand that, okay, there's so many perspectives now, and I can't control it. And I understand that. But the reason why it's so important for me to talk about it is because it affects me at the end. Because no matter what I do in my life, I will always be Hmong. Okay? Right? No matter what happens in the future, I will always be Hmong. That's something I can't change about myself. Right? So, this is why it's so important to me that I talk about it, because for me, based off of everything that I looked into, it's just a confusion. Okay? That's my perspective. Thank you.